Credit Suisse and JPMorgan Chase have been in the news recently for all the wrong reasons. Both banks have faced major scandals and are now under intense scrutiny from regulators and investors alike. The problems at these banks are just the tip of the iceberg, however. There are systemic issues in the banking industry that need to be addressed if we are to avoid future scandals and protect investors. Credit Suisse is facing major losses due to its involvement with Greensill Capital, a financial services company that has since collapsed. Credit Suisse invested heavily in Greensill's funds, which were later found to be fraudulent. This has led to significant losses for the bank and raised questions about its risk management practices. JPMorgan Chase, on the other hand, has faced criticism for its role in the Archegos capital management scandal. JPMorgan Chase was one of the banks that provided financing to Archegos, a hedge fund that collapsed earlier this year. The collapse resulted in billions of dollars in losses for the banks involved. These scandals are just the latest in a long line of issues that have plagued the banking industry for decades. Banks have been involved in everything from the subprime mortgage crisis to money laundering and fraud. There are a few key reasons why these problems continue to occur. First, there is a lack of regulation and oversight in the banking industry. Banks are often left to police themselves, which can lead to conflicts of interest and other issues. Regulators need to be more proactive in monitoring banks and holding them accountable when they break the rules. Second, there is a culture of greed and risk-taking in the banking industry. Banks are often focused on short-term profits at the expense of long-term stability. This can lead to risky behavior and decisions that can have catastrophic consequences. Finally, there is a lack of diversity and inclusion in the banking industry. Women and people of color are often underrepresented in leadership positions in banks. This can lead to groupthink and a lack of diverse perspectives, which can contribute to risky decision-making. To address these issues, the banking industry needs to take a hard look at itself and make meaningful changes. Regulators need to be more proactive in monitoring banks and enforcing the rules. Banks need to prioritize long-term stability over short-term profits, and create a culture that values diversity and inclusion. In conclusion, the scandals at Credit Suisse and JPMorgan Chase are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the problems in the banking industry. The industry as a whole needs to take responsibility for its actions and make changes to prevent future scandals and protect investors.